All right, this is a ridiculously easy question. So it just says, how much did Kai save in week 2? So we go down the save column, across from that, we can see it's 90. 98% of people got that right. What were the other people doing that got that wrong? Oh, dearie me. All right, this is a quite well answered question, so we won't spend too long on this. We're basically trying to get a message from Esther to Bevan. So if we look, there's only one way Esther can send to, who's that, Charlie? So then we look at Charlie. Charlie can send to Esther, but we don't want that. So Charlie can send to Drew. So now we go to Drew, and Drew can send to who's Alan, and then Alan can send to B. So we can see that the straightforward path there was the answer E. 90% of people got that right, and I guess people just randomly guessing from there. But you can just see how the matrix works. It's quite straightforward. Okay, so which one of the following matrix equations has a unique solution? Now, we've got a few sort of silly answers for this one. So the numbers dropped quite a lot down to 63% who got this right. Let's have a look at a couple of things that could help you out. First of all, remember this is X and Y. X, Y, X, Y, X, Y, X, Y. And that'll help you out with a few things. So if you look at A, you're saying like X plus Y equals 2 and X plus Y equals 10. That's silly. That's not a unique solution. That's impossible. So that was A, and 14% of people said that one. Oh dear. And then let's have a look at D, where sucked in 10% of people. I think your problem is if that 5 was there, it'd be okay. But at the moment, this equation is saying 7x equals 14, and also 5x equals 15. That's not going to happen. 7x equals 14 means x equals 2, and 5x equals 15 is x equals 3, and you've got nothing for y. No y involved. That's wrong. Let's have a look at the slightly more tricky ones. You can just stick these in your calculator and see if it doesn't just come up error after this. Okay, I mean, you could do that with many of them. Just start your way down A, B, C, D, E until one works. That's another strategy you might try. So I'm going to do it a bit more old school. If I look at B, I've got 6x minus 6y equals 60. And then minus 4x plus 4y equals 36. No. Now, the reason I say no for that is it might be interesting to see if you take the negative of all of this, you'd get 4x plus minus 4y equals minus 36. And you can see like there's a connection between, I try a different color, the 6x and 4x, so we're going down in value, and minus 6y down to minus 4y. We've dropped by 50% there, and that's not, so this needs to be a positive number. It should be a positive number, shouldn't it? It should be 40 actually, for this to be the same equation to work. So no. That is not the correct answer. It seems a bit weird to sort of drop down like that. Let's have a look at the other wrong answer, which is E. And that's 4x minus 2y equals 36. And 6x minus 3y equals 24. Again, if you look, the 4 to the 6 and the 2 to the 3 are sort of increasing by about 50%, but they've actually gone down by 50% on these things. So that doesn't make sense. If you type these things in your calculator, you'll suddenly find like only C works. I think for many people, the main strategy would have been just to type them into their calculator and see how they work. Surprisingly, few people did that. That's why only 63% got it right. That was pretty low. Okay, this is one of these cute letters questions. Fears become safer. Oh, how cute. But the first thing we need to do is look at permutation matrix. if you know, your permutation matrix is just a scrambled identity matrix, so you can only have 1, 1 in each row and each column. That is then eliminates A and D. And we've got to look at this. We're going to have a matrix. The permutation matrix is going to be fears like this, and that's got to equal. It's looking a bit messy here. It's got to equal safer. Now remember, it's row by column, and this is why we know it's this order. This is a 4 by 4, and this is a 4 by 1, and it's got to equal again a 4 by 1. This 4 and this 4 mean it can be done, and that's our solution. Yes, if you know your smiley face, as I call it. I'll just clear that out of the way because it's going to get a bit messy otherwise. But so what we're saying is, when we get our first row, this first row is going to multiply by this first column, and we want the only thing to survive is the S, because it's going to be the S first. So we don't want the F, and we don't want the E, and we don't want the A, and we don't want the R. We do want the S. So that means can't be B. Now let's look at quite simply look at the second row. So if we do the second row, what we want is an A. So we want the A to go there. So we want the third one to survive. So 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. So no F, no E, yes to the A, no to the R, no to the S. Oh, they're both the same. Where do they look different? Let's look at the third row. In the third row, what's the third letter we want? F. So we want the first one to survive. So we want the F, we don't want the E, the A, the R, or the S. There we've got a point of difference. It's not E, must be C. Do get in the habit of these things. They love to do it every year because it's so hilarious having fears become safer. Okay, so we've basically got a results matrix where you have winners and losers. Presumably you can't play yourself. So we're going to have to look at a bit of this diagonal line here. So A can't play A, B can't play B, C can't play C, so D can't play D, so we should be having a 0 there for H. That automatically rules out B and E. Remember, you don't have to look at things from F first, then G, then H, and you can just look for some simple things. Now think about this. If C beats A, you get the 1 here. Therefore, when A played C, they have the opposite result. So F should be 0. And that rules out C and D. And let's just double check that. If the reverse of this one, that's C playing B, well, we already know that when B played C, they lost. So that's going to be a 1 because this one's a 0. That one's going to be a 1. So does that make sense? We got G as 1. Yeah, it's all working out fine. There you go. The answer was A. Now this one was done by about 3/4 of people, but there's a spread of people making silly mistakes there. Perhaps people thought it was symmetrical about the line, but it's not symmetrical because you've got winners and losers on one side. You can't both win at the same time.